Hey everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video, we'll be going through an unboxing of the 1-24 Governor Queen's Guard, and this particular kit is from HEXA, released by Kotobukiya back in 2022. So it's been a while since I've done a kit from Kotobukiya, so I thought, well, since it's been a while, might as well give it a shot. And it's also a nice small kit, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. And saying that, I believe it's even my first kit out of the HEXA range, so I'm definitely not too sure what to expect, so my reactions will definitely be very authentic. So here we have the front of the box for the Governor Queen's Guard. Now, why did I pick this knowing that I haven't done anything with HEXA? I won't lie, I liked the colors. The look is nice, but I definitely did it primarily for the colors. So this particular Queen's Guard is in a very heavy red look, and it is very nice looking, at least from what I've noticed from the artwork. So we'll have a look at the back of the box in a minute. So front of the box with the Queen's Guard front and center. Now I do believe there are some other variants. I think there might be a black one or a silver one, but I don't know. The red one struck me first, so we'll see how it goes. In terms of the box, so that's the bottom of the box, side of the box, the top of the box, just your usual bits and bobs, the other side of the box, so pretty generic sides. But if we go to the back, now this is definitely where some of the interesting parts are. So we have some various images of the Queen's Guard. We have a shot from the back, sporting a very nice shield and a very large weapon. Not too sure what it is, but it's large. Front shot, and looks like it will definitely be a primary red with a secondary black and some other colors, but I do quite like the look. We do have some other images, some other weaponry that can be used. This looks to be pretty much everything that is included, so shield, weapons. I suspect this is probably some type of holding arm or arms, and some alternate hands, and I assume the Queen's Guard. This, now I'm not too sure what it is. It looks like it has a label of HEXA and Governor, so I can only imagine there is some compatibility between the HEXA kits. And this is just combining a few different kits together, so it's definitely going to be very interesting. Now, whether I pick up any more HEXA in the future remains to be seen. So depending how this goes, may or may not pique my interest, or it could be one of those once-off type builds. We also have this quote-unquote archive card as well, so not too sure what that is. I'm sure we'll find out momentarily. So definitely some very nice images of the kit on the back of the box. So now that we've had a look at the box itself, I will open it up and then we can have a better look at what is included. Kotobukiya being Kotobukiya, I can imagine there'll definitely be a manual, and then there'll probably be a whole heap of different plastic bags of parts. And with everything out of the box, yes, it's very typical Kotobukiya. Front of the manual for the Governor Queen's Guard. I like how they've gone a bit more of a system type graphic instead of the actual Queen's Guard itself, which is very nice. Back of the manual, so we have another shot of the Queen's Guard. This emblem, the Senate, maybe a house emblem would be my guess, and we also have the color guard. Unfortunately, Kotobukiya still likes to keep everything in Japanese, so there is no real description of the colors, although I can imagine it is a type of red, there's a few types of blacks and greys, and then probably silver and a metallic green for some other things. In terms of inside, so it's definitely a very typical Kotobukiya manual, especially from my days of doing Ava. So we do have a number of runners, but it's interesting to see that I'm going to wager that pieces that are not used are actually just colored out, which is very handy, especially given that everything is just in Japanese, and we do have some other PVC runners with some alternate hands. As for the build, looking at it, it is pretty much going to build like a typical Kotobukiya kit. So we're starting off with the head, going through the main body, and then going through the arms and the feet, doing the legs, putting everything together. So there will be some commentary about using a display base, how to equip various things onto the guard. So I'm assuming you can either stick the shield onto the main arm or attach it onto, I dare say, the weapons arm, and then building through the primary weapon, which will be very cool. And it looks like it will even fold over. It's very nice. The shield, attaching those two together, and then just some final bits and bobs about different hands, how to hold things and things like that. So it doesn't look like it will be at all too difficult to build, but Kotobukiya being Kotobukiya will just mean that you do need to just be careful how you build it. So that was the manual. Now this, I believe, is the actual little archive card that the back of the box was referencing. So it's a very nice piece of artwork. I suspect CGI, but there we have the Queen's card. I'm not too sure what's hidden behind it, but still a very nice archive card of the model. And then I can only imagine this is probably some type of biography about the Queen's Guard, probably I'm assuming is a house, and things like that. That's that. That is very cool looking. Now, the runners, as I said, it's a typical Kotobukiya, so we'll be here for a little while. Runner A in, I dare say, a bit of a black. So nothing too heavy here, so probably more joints and things like that. Skipping B, going straight to C, so it's still a bit of a black, most likely more joint connector bits as well. D runner is now in red, and I suspect this is probably parts of the, I want to say the legs, but who knows, it could be the arms, given that they do look relatively small. Definitely some nice detailing options here, so that'll be good to use a panel liner on. So that's runner D. E in, now I think this could be a dark blue as opposed to a black. Back to the reds with a F runner. Front torso, or general torso area, I can imagine. Definitely some nice detailing there. Be interesting to see how tall this kit also is, given it is at a 1:24 scale. So the pieces don't look too big. In fact, it's probably, I don't know, could actually even be on par with high grade. Runner G back in red. It's a very nice array of parts. What do we have here? We have H in, I'll call black, possibly dark blue. I always get confused when it comes to Kotobukiya and some of their blacks and their blues. They feel similar in shade. That's the H runner. We have the M runner back in red. And we also have the base of the shield. Now looking at some of these little details in here, they will probably need some color correcting, but we'll see, because they also look like they could be missing a detail. They look a bit flat for my liking, so it's quite possible something needs to go onto them. Possibly a sticker, which I'll be okay with. Can't imagine it's a plastic part because there's no real type of connection to them, so remains to be seen how that goes. So that was M. N in a nice translucent red. So I think this is part of the shield covering. This is that alternate weapon, however it's also in the one color, so the handle will need some type of color correcting, I can imagine. But that's N. Runner O. Probably more bits of the shield, and I suspect this is the main barrel of the primary weapon. Now that I've looked at it, it doesn't look too bad now. I'm just quickly sizing it up here. It's about, from end to end, about 16 centimeters in length, so it's not short, but it's definitely got some length to it. Thankfully, it's not too super detailed, but it does have enough detailing there just to pop it out a little bit, which is really cool. We have a P runner in silver, which I suspect is that house emblem. I'm still calling it a house emblem until I'm told otherwise. Have a small Q runner with some hand parts. Now those hands are actually quite small. And that was probably, I'm going to say, a bit of a grey. And then we have another array of hand parts. So we do have some different hand manipulators here as well. Sorry, I think that one is closed fist, open hand of some sort. Although this could be also a bit of a holding hand. These ones look like your standard open hands, but in a relaxed state. And then we have this little piece, which I think is the backpack. So that brings us to an end of the unboxing of the 1-24 Governor Queen's Guard. So definitely a very interesting looking kit. Very typical Kotobukiya, no doubt about that, just looking at the runners, but that's okay. The runners have a lot of small components, so I think that'll probably help, and it's not going to take too long. I think if it was a much larger kit, it'd probably be a little bit more daunting. But I definitely suspect it'll probably be easier to put together than some of the previous Kotobukiya Evangelions. Not to suggest the Evangelions were difficult, but I think this one might be a bit more straightforward. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. And because I did forget, I will have a link to the Queen's Guard at HobbyLink Japan, and potentially even a link to the wider HEXA gear kit range as well, in case anyone was curious what else is available in this HEXA gear line. With that now being said, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. See ya.